hold yourself out as a conservative, not necessarily a Republican?
Yeah, by all means. Republican Party didn't even like me today.
All right, well, I was going to ask you about the Republican Party. Why aren't they going to like you?
Well, the Republican Party's got its own battles. There's an internecine battle going on in the Republican Party for who's going to lead it and what its identity is going to be. And the friction in the Republican Party is all about social issues or abortion. The country club, blue blood Rockefeller types and the quasi inside the Beltway conservative media are just embarrassed as they can be to be in the same party with a bunch of Billy Bobs and so forth from what they consider to be the hayseed sticks who are pro-life. Just bugs them to death. I've been encountered by them at parties. I've had some of these blue bloods come up to me and poke me in the chest. What are you going to do about the Christians? I said, what do you mean, what am I going to do with the Christians? They're destroying our party. This abortion stuff, we're never going to get the women, and it's killing us. We got to get it. They're just embarrassed to go to the convention with them and so forth. I said, well, there are 24 million votes. And if you want to let the Democrats have them, you're never going to win a thing. They also don't like conservatives. The New York, Boston, Washington corridor axis of the Republican Party does not like conservatives. They didn't really like Reagan. They tolerated Reagan. They thought Reagan was a dunce, too. They like the whole D.C. Beltway mentality of elitism and sharing power and all being on the same team. We're just in different parties and we'll trade positions now and then as to who wins. But they're not really ideological. The conservative wing of the Republican Party is the only time when it's dominated that the Republican Party has been victorious. And I, of course, am not an elite. I'm not a country club blue blood Rockefeller type. I'm considered unsophisticated and you know, sort of, we don't want Limbaugh. We don't want to be associated with Limbaugh, that radicalness and so forth. So Republican Party is going through these battles right now, and you know, Palin's out there exciting people, and so people are starting to talk about third party. And I'll tell you how bad the Republican Party, the trouble it's in. When people say, when Republicans, when our opinion leaders say, Colin Powell is the model Republican, that's when I say, okay, gang, you leave the party and you form the Colin Powell party. I don't know how in the world we have a man who endorsed the Democrat candidate, campaigned for the Democrat candidate, did so at a strategic time to destroy McCain's candidacy, when McCain is an ideal Colin Powell moderate. How can it be that a guy who went all the way in the bank for the Democrat candidate is the ideal Republican? How can it be said that that's where we build our base, with moderates? Show me the book in the library, Great Moderates in American History. There isn't one. Moderates, by definition, don't have an opinion until they decide where the consensus is, the majority is, and go with it. So if the future of the Republican Party is that's where there's bubbling talk of a third party. And let Colin Powell and whoever else thinks he's the pièce de résistance, let them leave the Republican Party, form their own third party. Right now, I don't know what Colin Powell stands for. I don't know what Obama's doing he agrees with or disagrees with. Well, he did hint he doesn't like all the spending. But then last December, he said the American people want higher taxes and bigger government. That's not republicanism.
So who's your candidate right now?
I don't, too early. It's unrealistic for people to think we should have one. In 2001, 6 months after Bush was inaugurated, did the Democrats have their leader? Did the Democrats have somebody going to run around and get the next nominee? No. They were in a state of disarray thinking the election had been stolen from. 2004, 6 months after Bush beats Kerry, who was the leader? Who was rallying the Democrats? Howard Dean was out there doing things at the local level, the state level. It was assumed back then that Hillary was the next emperor.
But not in terms of horse race. I'm looking at who do you sort of, from an ideology point of view, do you think is the smartest or best candidate in your mind now?
Well, I don't want to answer that criteria, smartest and best. I'm looking right now at who can win, and I look at who excites crowds. And I think, Greta, that the state-run media and the Democrat Party will go a long way in telling us who they are most afraid of. And I don't think they're afraid of Mike Huckabee, because they never talk about him. I don't think they're afraid of Mitt Romney much, although if he surfaces, they'll go after his religion again. But they're trying to destroy Sarah Palin. They're literally trying to destroy not just her career, but her reputation. Now, if they're not worried about Sarah Palin, why do this? I think the Democrats, telling us who right now they are most afraid of, who they think can beat Obama. It's not hard to understand why. You covered Palin a lot during the campaign. Largest crowds on the Republican side, the most enthusiasm. People were revved up and fired up, in some cases even more than Obama rallies. And the Obama rallies were just culpy. They were just showing up to be part of the story. They didn't care what Obama was saying, as he was Obama. Sarah Palin was exciting people on substance.
She quit, though.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter?
No. Doesn't matter. It might be a very smart move, but I think she's a step ahead of people. I think, look, regardless what her plans are, whether politically inclined or if she wants to come earn some money, if they're political, her opponents are all down here in the lower 48 on television every day. They're making speeches every day. She's up in Alaska. She can't compete with them. Also, I think she told the truth on the ethics stuff was getting in her way of governing. And none of the ethics charges have been proven true. It's pure harassment. And if she just wants to earn money, then she's got to come down here and do that as well. I think the fact that she quit, that's too easy. That's conventional wisdom. Oh, she'll never go anywhere. She quit. They'll run ads saying when the going got tough, she quit. All that can be obviated by what she does between now and then. And I don't know what her aspiration. I've never met her. I've never talked to her.
Never met her?
No, I've never talked to her. I don't. None of this is, personal to me. I care about the United States of America. I care about the American people. I want our exceptionalism and greatness to be promoted, revived, and so forth. And whoever comes along, if it was a conservative Democrat that could come along and do that, I'd be there. If they were genuinely conservative, whatever party they were in. It's not about personality. It's not about horse races. It's about the country. Well, this country. We're a great country at risk in a very dangerous world. And we're now also under daily assault. The American economy, our private sector, is under daily assault by its own government.